tonight we are honoring you. You are being honored for the Transformative Award. Tell me in your own words, how have you seen and how would you articulate hip-hop transforming from when you fell in love with it as a child to right now?
Okay, so it wasn't that I fell in love with it, I actually co-invented it. So I would say young black kid from the projects goes into the junkyard to put together a handmade sound system, and then at the same time listening to mom's the house parties that was going on at mom's house, and listening to pop, listening to rock and to jazz, the blues, the funk, the disco, R&B, alternative, Caribbean, Latin, and I would notice that at my mom's house parties that I had no business being in because I snuck out of my bedroom. You know, when the drum beat, the breakdown came, the heinies will move more. I was like, oh, so that's the best part of the record, and that part was always like 10 seconds. So I had to do something that was really blast for me, was putting my fingertips on the record and repeating that one particular area, which makes a bed. Yeah. And then I put a microphone on the other side of the table in 1973 and asked somebody to talk on it, and the rest is history. So here we are.
So I have to know, with you being the co-creator of this movement, and you mentioned yourself as being a scientist with another correspondent, I want you to put your white jacket on and tell me what you think the next generation of hip-hop will be. If you had to take bits and pieces of what you hear right now to say what the future sound would sound like, what would you create?
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a big question, because as a black kid from the projects, doing it with nothing, and now here it is 52 years later for me, with all the technology and all the things that's happening. This thing is endless. Of course, now you got the tools here. I wish I'd had half this stuff, you know, when I was coming up. But I mean, you got AI, you know. There's just so many apps now that you can use. It's so much at these young producers' disposal that this thing, it's endless where it could go, and I don't think I could even pinpoint what that might be. I don't think so.
I understand that. And lastly, I would like to know, do you think you want to see hip-hop go back to something more simplistic like it was in your day, or are you enjoying the multitude of samplings and piecing on top of other already created sounds?
You have to understand, unlike the other genres that I just mentioned to you, we have an unlimited resource of being able to put a Frank Sinatra sample with a James Brown sample, and a James Brown sample with a Drake sample. Like, this is what makes this thing so beautiful and so powerful at the same time. So for me, I would say whatever that kid is, that next kid, bring it on.
Do it.
Do it.
Hey guys, I am here with Jermaine Dupri. Jermaine Dupri, you single-handedly had control over my childhood, okay? So there was not a song or a moment that took place that Jermaine Dupri was not a part of. So when Made For Me came out, it did not make the 2025 Grammys, and you came out with a statement saying that you were discouraged, that you didn't think that you were going to get another hit like this. Please tell me that you have rebuilt this momentum and that you've got back into the shop and that you're working on some music for the 2025 Grammys.
So dope.
I mean, well, I did a remix and I put Mariah on that, which makes it a new version. So that will be up for the 2025 fifth anniversary. Well, the Grammys or whatever. So hopefully it goes in there. We definitely got music coming out always, definitely, always. You know.
I heard you make mention of Magic City. Please walk us through that project.
Yeah, it's a 3-part series. It's a documentary about Mr. Magic and his life and how the club was actually made and created, and it's coming. Yeah.
And since we got Grandmaster Flash here,
this is the Grandmaster.
It's the dude right here.
Tell me about this relationship.
Okay.
I met Grandmaster Flash when I was 12 years old, and I've known him since. And I don't even know that, you know, when I was that young, he probably was like, what is this little kid doing around me? But yeah, I've known him and I watched them go on, you know, I watched him DJ, I watched him do sound check, I learned a lot of things about professionalism when it comes to hip hop. from Grandmaster Flash.
His production, like there's records, there's lots of great records, right? And then there's records that are fun to play. Like Premier, this guy right here, Dre, records that are fun to play. So I feel like a lot of the producers that were doing it at that time thought like DJs, felt the beat like DJs, so they shit was like instant hits. They didn't have to do the promo, nothing. They had to just get us the white label, sneak it to us and get it to us right away. Boom, it was hits right away.
Okay, trying to figure who I'm standing on.
Oh, it's okay. You standing on business.
I like that.
Hey guys, you're checked in here with Sheen Magazine. I am here with Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Guys, you are being honored tonight, not just because you're amazing, but for the Global Creative Impact Award. How does it feel to be black men in a music industry not only being notarized here in America, but globally?
Well, it feels wonderful, simply because music is the language that everybody speaks. Whether you speak English or some other language, when that beat all starts, everybody going like this at the same time. Yeah, so to me, it's all about global. It's the communicator that travels around the world, and we're happy to be a part of it.
Oh,
No additional words.
Ditto. Jam here, so he says it right.
Ditto.
Understanding with 50 years in the game, I wanted to know, with you guys leaving such a big impact, what do you think is a main impact right now on hip-hop music?
Well, I think what's interesting is when you say 50 years, it's 50 years of myself and Terry, but it's also 50 years of hip-hop. So we kind of grew up parallel with hip-hop, and as a matter of fact, the very first record we ever did when we went to L.A. for the very first time was Ice-T's first record, which a lot of people don't know. So we're kind of joined at the hip, and it's wonderful to be a part of hip-hop's history also.
Did you have a tag on with that?
He says it's so good. I just like to do it. I don't like to talk about it.
I understand. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Congratulations on being honored, and we can't wait to see your acceptance inside.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey guys, I'm here with Michael Malden, the chairman of the Black American Music Association. How is it to be here tonight at the inaugural ICE celebration?
Well, it's been a lot of work, but it's really great because this is the start and it's the kickoff, and we've got some amazing, not just talent, but people that are really have led this culture and led this community in their art form, and not just from a creative perspective, but also from a business perspective, and from folks that have really made a difference for our culture and our community, so.
Hey guys, it's your girl Rainy Cakes here with Bryan-Michael Cox, the third part of the trio for Made For You. I just wanted to know, I got a moment to talk with JD. After the horrible news of knowing that Made For You or Made For Me was not going to be in 2025 Grammy selection, now getting Mariah Carey on the single, knowing that one would be submitted, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think that there's still some work to be done there. I don't think we're totally out of the fray when it comes to being nominated this year. I don't know who made that boo-boo and dropping it the day before the deadline, but I don't think we're out of the fray. I think that you have to acknowledge the intense, effect the song has had on the culture, especially R&B culture. So I mean, me being a part of that process, being a member of the Grammys, being on the leadership council of the Songwriter Composers Wing, I can say that I don't think that there's a way that we can overlook the impact of the song. So I don't think we're out of the fray. I don't think we're totally out of, what I'm saying? Like I'm very involved in that process, like hands-on. So, I have a little bit more information than the average person would. So I don't believe that we're out of the fray. I think that, it'd be hard for for the powers that be to not acknowledge the power of that song. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Hey guys, I'm here with Damani Harris. Damani, we're super excited to honor you tonight. You're getting awarded with the Developing Artist of the Year. How does that feel?
Man, I love doing music, and I'm excited, and I love to see that a lot of people, the music is resonating with, a lot of people. It's just from the stuff that comes from like my head to something that's tangible, something that people could really relate to. I love that.
So you have been doing your music thing. You've been trying diligently to make a name for yourself outside of the legend your dad has made for himself. You started off by separating yourself from the series of the Family Hustle. How do you feel you have been making a name for yourself, and do you think that people are finally seeing you as Damani Harris and not T.I.'s son?
Yeah, I could say that. Just from the interactions I have with people, like just walking past, on a day-to-day basis. But yeah, I can say that. Like I said, I could see the music resonating, and I could like hear people and like the stories that they tell me, how the music affected them, and how they know this album, this project, this song, and they was at this show. Like I'm grateful. Yeah.
Lastly, Damani, listening to your music and listening to your catalog, your sound is different from anything else people have out right now that would be mainstream. What was the encouragement behind that sound?
I really just sat by myself and just was making music and studying the greats, people who I thought was like really dope. And before you knew it, people was telling me I had a sound. I didn't really think about it though.
So can I ask you, I know I said last question, but who are those greats that you emulated yourself after?
Gotta say my father. Just taking notes and just admired and just inspired by my father, Kendrick, Kool, Jay, Andre. I think that was about 5. Yeah.